We talked about it.
Trust me, I sat in the shower for a long time today. Deep.
I think
We had some weird stuff happen in the shower. Not the fun weird, but yeah.
I'm so happy I pressed record.
But I mean, like, okay. I'm saying, like, you're confusing clarity with direction. Or, no, I mean, you would have to have clarity in order to have direction.
Yeah.
It's the, you don't know how to get out of this yet, and so therefore you're doing it wrong. Right?
Maybe. I don't know if I feel like I know I'm doing it wrong. I mean, I'm sure there's parts. Yeah. We essentially had the Goonies show up. That's the only way I can think about it. I've actually never seen the Goonies, fun fact.
Really?
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
Why don't you... Well, we should probably, like, stop what we're doing and just turn it on.
No, it was the whole, like, thing, what we talked about. And then went and sat there, went inside, ended up in that room that we've uncovered with potentially many friends in there. Didn't see any of the other friends.
Really?
They weren't there.
Okay.
Or I shouldn't say they weren't there. Maybe they were there.
You weren't aware that they were there?
Yeah.
All right.
And then essentially in the back there was like the only way I could describe it was like a pile, like a mound. It was all dark.
A mound.
Yeah, but like,
Sure.
yes. And then that's where whatever version it was, and I say Goonies, like I said, I could never get a tell on the face, but it just felt distorted. Everything it just felt distorted.
Yeah?
So just sat there, ended up sitting on a bench, like a park bench.
Okay.
Sat there for a while and was there. And that was probably, that I think is the embodiment of what we were talking about Monday.
Okay.
Was this
The bench.
version of me.
Okay.
The not fully sure what. But then it was interesting where it was this like, try not to force it to transform, if you will.
I will.
Using the Phoenix analogy there. But it was just like sitting with it. And there was the fear and a lot of the other things around it. And like slowly it would start to like, he would slowly start to evaporate in like little dust. But then it kept getting to like the neck and then he would come back.
So you tried to Thanos him, and it wasn't.
No, I didn't try to Thanos.
But isn't that
I wasn't
interesting?
trying to. It took a long time. It did that like 4 or 5 times. Then it would get further, and then come back, further, come back. Then finally it was gone. And then, and this is where it's like, you have to try to stay out of your mind where you start going like, am I now just like thinking these things type of thing? Or am I trying to project what I want to happen?
Sure.
And then it was kind of back to my main room, if you will, that typically has like everything. That's where that little jaguar sits there on that perch, just chilling, and that chest and all of that stuff. And then essentially came back out of that, but it was more, like I said, then the room was more lit up. And then at one point it kind of was a flashback to that mound, and then just randomly like a flower and a lotus came out. And I was like, okay, we are getting out of the shower now.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
Do you understand what you just said?
No. Yes and no.
How do flowers grow?
You water them and they bloom?
Yeah, they also grow in the shit.
Yeah.
Literally. It's fertilizer.
It's true.
You had 2 new lives pop up. How is that not awesome?
I didn't say it wasn't awesome. I just don't understand it yet.
No mud, no lotus.
Oh, well.
It's good news. It won't feel like good news for a while.
Doesn't feel like anything
Yet.
yet. Which I was kind of expecting after Monday. Because we talked about that.
Why? You've been shutting this down forever.
No, but from a standpoint of like, how we talked about the whole Phoenix and all that stuff, but it's like, it's not going to necessarily be like,
Right. No, 100%.
That's what I meant.
You're holding on to the old version of you because it's all you know.
yeah.
And you're holding on to it with every grasping, dying.
Yeah. And that was like part of the feel, like I said, when we were on that park bench. That was a lot of it.
Good work.
So
Okay.
now we're just,
Now you're just here.
yeah.
Unsure of how you feel. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Would you like to know the astrology of it?
Yes.
Okay.
My astrology didn't quite kick me in the face today like it did yesterday.
No, it's kicking all of us in the face. We're
Yes.
all being curbed, stomped by it.
Yesterday really kicked me in the face.
The last 2 months, and even before that, have been like everything's up for past life review. Everything you've been, and I don't mean like,
Yeah.
I mean this life. What's working for you, what's not. Any old wound is coming up for you to meet it, so you can either re-up the contract with your old wound, which I don't recommend, or you get to face it, heal it, because starting on the 19th, it's all falling apart for real, apparently. And then February-ish, 2025, you're either staying in the old or you're going on to the new.
I hope that means I don't have to wait till February for a job. That would not be fun.
I don't know. But the question is, do you want to take the opportunity, doesn't feel like an opportunity, to clear out all the old shit and decide, am I going to be who I was? Or the more accurate part is, what parts of the way that I am and the way that I was being and the individual that I thought I was are coming with me? And what parts are ready to change? Do you know who you are? Do you?
No.
Great. Ask me if I know.
Do you know?
Not really. And why? Now ask me why I don't know who I am.
Why don't you know?
Because I'm going through major transformation. I'm looking at all these parts. I'm looking at all the shadow parts of myself and being like, oh, that's what it is, which causes me to not know because it's confusing. And when you're sorting in the darkness, can you see? No. So I know bits and pieces. But this is a new version. I'm phoenixing. Right? But it's like the molting stage where it's all old and decrepit and ugly and I'm like, I don't know who I am anymore. And well,
Do you think it's the universe's way of teaching you in a sense that it almost feels like the Phoenix stage, especially, I mean, from my experience of talking about it, compared to, maybe you going through it, that it's not this like you see, whenever you see the Phoenix stage in like movies, Harry Potter,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa. But,
oh, in what way?
well, in Harry Potter sense, you're like, holy shit, that thing just blew up. And now it's this bird emerges and you're like, oh, that's an awestruck.
There you go. Why would you not want to be awestruck?
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like when we've talked this, or it's never this awestruck. It's just this like you said, it's just more like mellowish.
But what do I say about it? When I'm witnessing you, just like you were witnessing the Phoenix,
Yeah.
when you experience it, you're like, oh shit. And look, in the Phoenix analogy, did a full-grown bird come out?
No.
No.
I actually
What
just
came
forgot
out?
that. A baby.
And what do baby and toddlers do? Well, first of all, they toddle.
Yeah.
So you're toddling. If you'll allow the death. You're not toddling, I'm toddling.
Yeah.
I also cry a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of tears. But like,
It's more awe-struck for the other people watching it than it is the baby.
the baby's like, why the fuck can't I stand up? All of these other people are standing up and we're like,
Yeah.
you're doing it. You're doing great. And then what do? My niece, nephew walked for the first time. My child walked. It's so exciting. And the kid's like, shit, this is a lot. And they get really worn out and they have a tantrum and they have to put them to bed. Does that sound familiar right now? But you had a question about the universe. Is this the universe's way of what? And then you got into the Phoenix.
Is this the universe's way of like teaching you? Where it's not necessarily for you, it's not the big whoa.
What do you mean?
I said when it's happening to you, it doesn't, very rarely does it ever feel like this big aha moment.
Right. So what is the question? Why is it like that?
Yeah. Is that like, why is that the way the universe teaches you?
Well, I don't like want to speak for the universe, but I guess I'm about to.
You know what I mean?
I do. But look, it's you. What do I say to you all the time? Celebrate it.
Yeah.
You don't know how
No.
to be in awe of yourself because we've trained ourselves to do the opposite. And so I've told you a few times.
The universe isn't going to throw you a party. You gotta throw yourself one.
Exactly.
I would like the universe to throw me a party.
Why? It's actually trying to help you throw that party, but you're like, absolutely not. External validation. You don't want to have to cultivate it within yourself.
Yeah.
How did you act when I said we need to go celebrate you getting like a third job interview and going out and getting drinks? Yeah, that.
I can't celebrate till I have it.
Yeah.
I can't be happy till I have it. I won't be safe till I have it. The only Zen you will find at the top of the mountain is the Zen you bring with you. The universe is trying to teach you. And you're like, no, I know how to do this. We all do this. And what we say is, I'll be safe when I will love myself, when I have the house, the relationship, when I look a certain way, then we're doing it backwards. You've got to cultivate the peace in here. You've got to cultivate the safety you want in here. The relationship you want, the love you want, you cultivate it inside you first. Now, let's walk it backwards. Why would that make sense? If you are creating from fear, scarcity, and shame, what are you creating?
Nothing healthy.
It's fear, scarcity, and shame.
Yeah.
It's same, right? And like, even when we're like, well, people are creating homes, they have jobs, and they're creating safety for their families. So this is not black and white. It's very, very gray. Brought to you by my outfit, right? For those of you not watching, I'm head to toe gray. But it's like,
Welcome to the episode, by the way.
welcome to the episode. So, if you want something, teach your body how to experience it. This is like the manifesting conversation online has gotten out of control.
I hate it.
Great. But you're still trying to do it. You're trying to have a genie in a bottle go, here's the job, here's the house, here's the body.
I wish there was a genie
Now.
in the bottle.
Me too. Why do you think that legend persists? That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And yet, what does that genie come with? There's all kinds of lessons in that story.
Yeah.
Like, this is decidedly awesome. Also, it comes with golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
Reference Jafar.
Mm-hmm.
Itty bitty living space. Right?
Itty bitty.
So yeah, the universe is trying to teach you. The question is, would you like to take the lesson? And you're like, yeah, but not like that.
Yeah.
Show me I'm good enough first, and then I'll move. Prove it to me first, is what you're saying to the universe. And what the universe is saying, the existence of you is the proof. That's all you need. Your worth is already inherent. It's a done deal. You don't need proof. But you're behaving as if you have no worth at all, and you have to earn it. So what's going to come back to you then?
Not what you want.
Yep. Do we always get what we want? The great philosopher Mick Jagger said, and I am borrowing that from House, you can't always get what you want. What if it's what you need, though?
I was going to say, usually you get what you need, even if it's not what you want.
Right.
Ooh, I really don't like a lot of these things then.
So look, what's the difference between wanting, okay, and craving and desire?
What is the difference between wanting, craving, and desire?
Yes.
I mean, I would say the difference is probably just the energy behind them. Because they're all kind of the same end result, but...
What is the energy behind wanting and craving?
My first instinct want to say it's more... Like it's more of a lustful energy.
Okay. What's behind lustful energy?
Desire.
No. Nope.
I'm not sure.
Do you have everything you want right now?
No.
So would it be safe to say you are lacking?
Yeah. So lack is behind a want
Correct. And a craving.
a craving.
Desire is, this is what my heart and soul is being called toward.
Yeah.
And it does not matter to me how I get it. I'm going to let the compass of my heart and soul guide me there.
Okay, why do, when you do follow the desire, if you will,
I will.
I'm going to speak from my experience. It feels like following the desire. Trying to be very careful with my words.
Don't be careful. I'll just correct you.
That's why I'm being careful. I feel like following my desires in the aspect we're talking about. I am being led to what feels like more empty chests.
What do you desire? Do you care to share with the public what you desire?
I feel like that changes, but ultimately desire is to make a difference with others.
I'm going to call bullshit on that. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm calling bullshit on it.
Okay.
What do you actually want? I'll go first. I want money.
I think money is a byproduct of it, though.
I want a big house. I want a new car. I'm not joking about this. I want these things. I really do. I also want a deep soul partnership. That's what I want. Helping people is currently the means of getting there.
Yeah, and that's what I think for me, I guess when I look at the desire, that's where it, I guess is what's aspect of it.
Okay, but you won't help yourself, so how are you going to help anybody else? If you're out here going, you are worthy and you deserve these things and you should love yourself, and you're not willing to love yourself, no. That's not okay. Coming from someone who learned that the hard way, because I've been in this game for a minute. Don't think I didn't get in here to go, I'm going to teach everybody else that they can love themselves. I'm going to teach everybody else that they need to show up for themselves and really cultivate the safety and peace inside themselves. But I don't deserve that. I did that.
I think that's the curveball that, I'm facing, or I think many people are, where I agree with you on that. And like you said, that wasn't something I think I understood till more recently. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the piece where it's going, for me, I'm actively working on that.
You are.
And it just still feels like
the roadblock.
Yes.
Because you still refuse to accept that you are enough in this moment, breathing in and out. Me too.
But I think, okay, but even that, I think what I experienced this morning,
okay,
I would say is me going, I am enough. But even with that experience, it feels like nothing is different.
It just happened this morning.
I know, I can only talk. Yeah,
okay, but
I like instant results. Okay.
Oh my God, who doesn't? I still want that. But you see what what wanting does? The craving, can somebody just show up? Can a genie show up and put $1 million in my bank account so I can feel safe. Who doesn't want that? For real, who doesn't want that? And some people are like, I want to earn it. Okay, you want to tell me that if somebody offered you that kind of money with no strings attached, and I realize that this is like a hypothetical, you're going to be like, no thanks, I want to earn it. Bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's no way there wouldn't be something attached. I'm saying that in this scenario, there's zero attached. You just get to have it. Why would you, that would be a dumb decision, because then you could invest it, you get it. But like, this is the point. We are waiting for the external validation to prove to us that we're enough, and then we can love ourselves. It's backwards. And what did I say? And maybe we started recording it. Maybe we didn't. But I said, you are at odds with yourself. You're literally blocking yourself because you're like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm enough. Except for, you know that you don't think you're enough because you don't have those things. And people your age have what? So we've got comparison in the mix. We've got judgment in the mix. And then the brain goes like this. Well, these people are out here judging themselves and they get to have the house. Well, people didn't ask for what you asked for, right? Are they doing deep emotional work? Are they going down the spiritual path of figuring out they wanted to learn Reiki and shit?
No.
So the healer's path would look like what?
Why does the healer's path suck some days?
Okay, why would it suck? Why is it important for you to understand the healing journey? If you're going to be a healer.
For you can walk other people through it.
Uh-huh. And if you don't understand what they went through, how are you going to help them? Do you see me pulling textbooks all the time? Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Do you? Do I ever do that? Why?
Because you've been through it.
That's right. And have I been through everything you've been through? No.
No. As I'm looking at a stack of textbooks on your bed.
Well, I do read them.
Joking.
But like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, this is the mind fuck. And you took apart your old life, right?
Yeah.
So did I.
Fuck.
So, and when did you take it apart again?
7 months ago.
When?
Well, which part?
No, but like in earnest, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
You expect it to be rebuilt completely. You can't even build a proper house in 7 months. I mean, you can, but it's a rush job. You want that? You want to build something fast?
No.
Okay. Look, everyone is actually a healer. Why is everyone a healer?
We'll heal ourselves.
That's correct. We're the only ones that can heal ourselves. I'm a guide. Mm-hmm. You're learning how to be a guide, right? Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm not healing you. You do all the work. So we're all learning how to be healers. That's why life is the way it is. And look, any way you slice it, is this existence not Earth school?
No.
Like, it kind of doesn't matter your spiritual beliefs.
Yeah, it's a giant school.
Right. So, but we're all indoctrinated and conditioned with perfectionism, which says you should know it already and you should be doing it perfectly.
Yeah. How much of that, though, you think do we add to ourselves?
All of it, you mean? But we also learned it from somewhere. Does that
Yeah,
make
we
sense?
learn it, but then, because I think there's levels of it.
Of course there are. So is the question like, why do some people get to succeed and I don't?
Or, and maybe like I said, this is not the best way of phrasing the question, because maybe some people have done the work. Maybe let's assume that we're taking away the people who've done like the very conscious work of working through that perfectionism. But it feels like, or seems like, that there's different levels of the perfectionism where you look at some people and you're like, okay, like, yes, we all have that layer that we've given ourselves or learned, but you look at some people going like, that's a very like thin layer that you've been able to like, we'll say bypass, like where like I look at my layers and like I said, I'm consciously trying to do it and I'm going, holy shit, this is more, like I said, yes, you don't know other people's layers. I understand that, but you look at other, like I said, people and go like, and does it come back to, you know, depending on what path you chose, where it's like, okay, I chose this healer path, so it's like you get 20 more layers than everyone else, and it's like, enjoy this one.
I mean, kind of.
Ugh.
But what is the real question you're asking? Why do some people get to have success and I don't?
In a way, I guess I mean,
Do you feel successful right now?
no.
Why?
I guess.
Why aren't you successful right
Well,
now?
let me rephrase that. I think it depends on what aspect you're talking
No,
about.
I'm talking about the aspect that you judge yourself from.
No,
Okay, then why? How are you not successful?
there's nothing to show for it.
Right? Do I have something to show for my success?
Yes,
What?
an income,
Fair. What else?
a house.
Is it mine? No.
Technically, no.
Okay. What else do I have to show for it? Yeah, exactly. Except for, what do you know about me?
Pretty awesome.
Why though? How do you know I did the work inside?
You exude it.
So am I successful?
Yeah, you're successful because you've gotten through it.
Ask me if I feel successful.
Do you feel successful?
My house is not mine. I don't have all the external proof of success. And it's a goddamn mindfuck because I'm like, I know what I've done.
Well, how do you talk to people then who, okay, yes, you don't have, like you mentioned, but to compare me, we'll just compare like me and you, ours,
Okay.
like where, yes, there's a lot of the same things. We're like, no, like we don't have XYZ, where it's going, how do you talk to people, or what do you say to the people who are in my shoes where it's like, no, like there's literally nothing. It's like, okay, yes, even if I had, we'll say the income, I could be like, I'll be like, oh yes, well I don't have XYZ, but it's like there, where for me, it feels like there's literally, like I said, and without trying to get the toxic positivity that we've talked about, where it's like, no, look, you have this. It's like, no, shut up. Like I don't like.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it. Where I'm just like, yeah, I got nothing. How do you even begin to work with that?
Well, I've had to work with it on my own. That's kind of my point.
Yeah, so yeah,
Right? Because if I actually believe and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, then yeah, I'm successful by my measure of success. And to a point, that's not true because I do want a house. Like I said, I want money. I want a car. I
Yeah.
want a house. There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't mean that I'm not a successful person in that way. But I still have lack in myself. I have told you a lot of the things that I have gone through and transformed. And whenever I talk about it, people are like, damn, that's a lot. I'm like, right. But when there's nothing to show for it, it's like, what good is it? I have to then go in and do the work to go, no, I know this is valuable. Even though it has no tangible result,
Yeah.
even though I have not yet turned that into a house and a car and more money.
Yeah, I guess that's where I was trying to, I guess, ask that question where it's like, because it's hard. It's like I said, none of it's, when you go inside, none of it's technically tangible.
No, it's not. None of it is.
Yeah.
Can you hold it? Are you seeing me hold my success?
No.
Right here in my
And
hands?
I think that's where I'm struggling, is going, okay, I don't have any external at all to also
Right.
like at least tether me a little bit where I can be like, okay, well, I'm tethered a little bit now. I can like try to be better at like taking those intangibles and going like, no, like this is.
No, for sure. But like, you named one thing that I have. I have income.
I feel like a balloon floating without tying to anything.
Right, but you didn't like what you were tied to.
No, and that's that. I was thinking about that this morning. It's such a mind fuck to go, I did what I needed to do for whatever reason, but I'm 7 months in going like, oh, this feels not good. This is not a good
This
feeling.
is not it. I was supposed to. It's the Disney version of it. Sorry. Where you're like, when I leap, all these magical things will happen.
So I was expecting, and this is where once again taking away the toxic positivity, because yes, I can find stuff. It's like I was thinking there was going to be at least one thing.
Yeah. That's fair. But look, there are a lot of things. The main thing is, let's see, what do I want to say? Okay, ask me why I haven't made the money and can buy the car.
Why haven't you made the money or bought the car?
Because I don't believe I deserve it. And my system is telling me that. My survival is still creating survival. Because that's new to me. Even though my nervous system is more regulated than it has ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And by regulated nervous system, I mean I feel things fully. Not that I'm zen all the time, right? But that I'm aware of it and can process. It still wants to create the old lack. Because the lack is still in me.
It's so hard to get past that.
Well, it is.
And you like know you like very aware that you want to work through it.
That's all I'm...
Yeah.
That is where the majority of my energy goes. But it's understanding that, do I want that to happen like 3 years ago? Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, it'll happen when it'll happen. How am I moving? What are all my micro decisions through the day that I am making that keep me where I am?
Yeah.
And a lot of them are subconscious. We talked about that on Monday.
Yeah.
Right? And like, there's a part of you that is like, no, there is one way and one way only. And you've missed a bunch of those. You're over 30 and you're not married, so strike one.
Oh, I had my test run.
Oh my God. We had our first pancake for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you see them? But you're not married now.
No.
You don't have children, right? And
No.
by Utah standards, what are you even doing, man? Right?
No.
And are you making a bunch of money that I don't know about?
I wish.
So, but do you see what I'm saying? That part of you is like, there's only one way, and it's trying to beat you into submission to get you to go that way because it's the known for you. So is mine. Mine's like, we came from survival.
Yeah.
This is what we know. We want to keep you in the known so that you don't die. And I'm like, I am trying to ascend here, guys. And also, it's like, I'm trying to bring you with me. Can you be cool? But they don't feel safe. This is what I'm talking about by creating the safety within yourself. Those parts of you need to feel safe and secure so that you can then do something different.
And I think that's interesting, like talking about Monday, talking about now, sitting there now. It's like, even part of it, like, I don't even know what, it doesn't feel like I even know where, and I'm sure a lot of people probably feel this way, where you almost don't even know, like, you can know that there's those things somewhere blocking, beating you into that submission, like, no, this is the way.
Right.
But it's going like, I don't even know where those pieces.
Yes, you do. We talked about it. Where are they? The main one being, where's your worth? Is it outside of you again?
No.
No. But you don't actually believe that. That's what we've been talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you understand it, but trying to find, like, when you go in,
Yeah.
trying to find where they are hidden.
Yeah. They're hidden for a reason. They don't want to be found.
They're very good at hide and seek.
Why would they not want to be found?
Because they don't feel safe that...
Well, let's talk about how you got them in the first place. These are survival techniques.
Well, it's almost like the thing I was mentioning earlier about this morning. The main fear was, even though I had I understood it was more of a Phoenix situation, but that what could happen. He more felt that he was just going to be essentially dead, gone.
Right.
No more.
Right. That's what changes to the human brain. Death. Annihilation. No longer existing.
Where, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, anytime we are working on that stuff in ourselves, it's never... yes, in a sense it's a death, but it's never a death because they're never... Those littles are never gone. They are just always kind of turning into phoenixes.
Right. Are you still the person that... Like, you're still Joe that was born in May, right? But are you the same baby, or did you change?
I changed.
Are you bigger?
Yeah.
Did you die?
A few times.
But you didn't actually die.
Yeah.
But like...
Intruders.
So...
Or kids.
Probably both.
It's kids.
So... Sorry.
You're good.
Where were we?
Death.
It's the finding... It's understanding that you've got to accept the death and the change, right? And if the secret of life is to die before you die, which it is. Mm-hmm. What do I mean by that?
I think the To Die Before You Die, it's going through all of these changes and these deaths,
And to allow them.
and to actually come out on the other side, the phoenix.
Right. But the phoenix is born what? Brand new, all perfect bird?
Nope.
Or is it a baby?
It's a baby.
Right.
I think Harry Potter's one of the only times they've done a good job actually representing that.
Good job, Harry Potter.
Because I think a lot of times when you see the phoenix, it's always like full grown, just like
Well,
out of the blue.
I think some of the legend is that like that's part of the story, but like in this analogy, and the reason we use it as a metaphor is because you are reborn. It's newness, and so like it manifesting something or changing something, you've got to do something different to get different. You got to move different to get different. So if it actually really helps to die and be a toddling baby so that you're actually doing it differently. You're reprogramming, right?
Yeah.
But we hold on to the old programs because it's what we know, which is what you're doing right now, and it's what I'm doing right now. Now, I've let go of a lot of programs.
Yeah.
There are more.
There's always more.
There's always more. And so the question is, do I want to receive this particular lesson from the universe right now, or would I like it to come back around? And look, sometimes it's like, no, I want to take the lesson, but you weren't aware of some of the subconscious, and so it's going to come back around and you're like, oh my gosh.
So do you think you're ever fully aware that when those lessons come around, if you have, like, I guess, passed it for it not to come back around? Or is it one of those you just go, well, I guess we'll find out if it decides to come back around?
I've now adopted the mindset to go, we'll see if I did it.
Yeah. Where you almost don't know what your grade is until
Right.
You're like, if it decides to come back around, like, oh, I
Right.
missed a few.
And so instead, it's like, it's actually a very similar practice. It's a great analogy, like with the test. It's like, well, I do know I got these ones right. I know I studied enough. I know I was prepared. So, okay. Do I want to pass it? Oh my God, I want to pass it so bad.
Yeah.
But then if it comes back around, I'll just know that there was more to learn. And really what will happen, at least in my experience, is it's very much like a video game. Okay? It's like you get the first level and you kind of get your, like, okay, I know what I'm doing. You know, second, third, however many levels you have, and then you get to the boss level.
Yeah.
Now, this is where, like, what I do, you're going to become aware of when you hit those boss levels. So it's like, okay, here we go.
Yep.
Here's what it is, right? So, like, if you're working with me, I'm going to be like, this is a boss level thing. Would you like to meet it or not? Right? And it's kind of fine either way. Because, like even with the video game analogy, like, I used to go back and play the other ones because, like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. You know? I don't want to not beat this.
I don't want, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to know if I want to face
And
this.
that's okay, because what was I doing? I was going back in and like kind
Practicing.
of putting the reps in and like, well, I guess we'll just kind of hang out here. And so you often don't know if you beat it or not, but the universe will always provide like this like follow-up test. It's like, hey, did you really get this?
Yeah.
And it'll come in similar form. It tends to come in like something that like, ooh, this feels a lot like this. It's not exactly like this, but it's like this. When you want to have the eyes to see, you want to develop that to go, oh, that's like this. Okay, what happened last time? Do I want that same outcome to happen? If you don't, you got to do something different. And that usually involves you doing something that is just wildly scary to you. Like speaking your needs, right?
Okay.
Or holding a boundary. Or like doing something like really uncomfortable, right? It's like, for example, if you have a hard time organizing your finances, it's each time every month you got to do that, or every week, or however you want to do it, and you do it even though it's uncomfortable, you're like, oh, I'm passing the test, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep avoiding it, then you're just gonna get the same lesson over and over and over. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that's my struggle. Is it's more of the perfectionism that we did talk about Monday.
Yeah, it's 100%
where it's like
the perfectionism. Perfectionism is self-harm. Perfectionism is this unattainable goal that it's literally something you cannot ever achieve, right? And its core is
I think
lack.
in a way the perfectionism, I've probably almost put it to that level because I know subconsciously that it can't ever be
Yep.
achieved. It's like
So you
it's
set
like
yourself up to fail.
Yeah.
So why even try?
I think that's the interesting piece. Is like, for me, it's not even the why even try, but it's maybe not ever making a connection of the two till now, where it's like understanding that I'm definitely a perfectionist with a lot of these things, but not realizing that I essentially have built an unwinnable level because of that.
Yeah, why would you do that? To keep you where you are.
Yeah.
You don't want to go anywhere. But you're like, no, I want to go places.
But subconsciously, you're like,
You
I
don't.
don't. Because you don't want... I think I've mentioned that, though, I think to you, where it's like, for me, it's like I know how much good, if you will, is there. Or it's
Where?
like I want...
The good is what? Where?
I guess where I'm trying to go, like how much...
Oh.
But, and that's where it's like, it's such the... It's the curveball that I've thrown myself, where it's like, I know that, like, there is, you know, all this gold, if you will, out there.
I will.
But I've made it for I can't ever
Have it.
have it.
Why would you do that? Because you don't deserve it. You're not worthy of it. And look, this is actually, it's an inability to be able to receive. Okay? It's a not enough wound. Okay? And like, you also, like, where your biggest fears are, that's why they say, like, face your fears. Because on the other side of it's the gold you're looking for. And we've talked about this. You were like, I have faced my fears. There was no gold. You were looking for the giant room filled with, instead of the little nuggets along the way that you then put into yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't, but there are parts of you that do not believe that you can have it or that you haven't earned it. And look, it's all with a fuel source of lack. You will always be lacking. You will get all of those things and it still won't be enough for you. And you're like, oh yeah, let me try. It might last you a year, 2 years, but it will show up. And you asked for something different. You could have gone out and gotten those things. You could have. You were on the track to do that. Why didn't you stay on it?
It was more.
What? More what? Could you just not hack it? Are you just this lazy person? Like, I don't want a job.
That's almost some of the hard piece of this is some of those things I don't have full answers for yet. Where I just, it was more of a pull. I'm like, I don't fully know yet. I don't fully understand it yet.
No, but you want to.
Yeah.
But you're not trusting yourself either.
It's just so damn scary.
Oh, there's nothing more terrifying. Nothing. What are you afraid of?
That it won't be what I think it's going to be.
Okay, what does that mean about you if it's not what you think it's going to be?
That it was all for nothing or not worth it.
So now you know how you feel about yourself. Same. If I don't have some great story to tell, then all of this was for naught. Because I'm for naught. I'm not worthy of time, attention, effort. I'm not worthy of struggle. I'm not worthy of my own trust. And we want someone else to prove it to us. It's really fair. And it's also a fool's errand.
I don't know if it's so much you want someone else to prove it to you as it just feels like I don't know how to prove it to myself anymore.
How are those things different? You've never proved it to yourself. You're getting closer. I haven't proved it to myself all the way. I love myself more than I ever have, and I still have a long way to go. But those things are not different. I just want a break. I want to rest. I want someone to tell me I'm going to be okay. No one can tell you that. They'd be lying to you. I can't tell you you're going to be okay.
I think I'd just be annoyed if someone did.
Then why do you want it?
I do, but I don't. Because I know I can't. Like, someone could tell me that. I know it's not going to give me the feeling I'm looking for.
What feeling are you looking for?
To truly, like, feel it.
Okay. So
To like embody it.
I want you to do something. Let's say that as of right now, there's $1 million in your bank account. It's just yours. And it's real. That's there. What's happening in your body?
Nothing. Like there's no worry. I think it's
There's
just
not relief. There's not like, oh
well,
my gosh.
yeah. I think there's relief, but like that's where I say there's no worry. Just like,
Did your
okay.
muscles relax? When I think about that, I'm like, oh my God, thank God. All right.
You know, it's it.
And then you know what I do? I'd be
Okay.
like, bye guys, I'm
int-
going to go take a nap.
It's interesting because even though I obviously do not have that this moment type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If that was to happen, there's relief, but at the same time, it's more of this feeling of like, well, it was supposed to be there. Like
Oh, why? Why was it supposed to be there?
because I deserve it.
You deserve $1 million? Why? Why do you deserve that?
Like,
Does everyone deserve that?
no.
Oh, why? Why do you deserve it?
I've worked for it.
How? What have you been through?
Quite a lot, depending how you want
You've
to
been
look
on
at
the
it.
streets. You've been hungry. You deserve $1 million for what you've been through. Or 10 million.
Regardless of the denomination of the amount, it's more for me that it's the work I've put in, not like on myself and just in general to actually get to a point or working towards that point.
Well, I put in a lot more work than you.
No,
Comparison is not helpful, but in this moment, I'm going to use it. Where's mine?
you deserve it too.
Why? Have I been on the street? Have I ever been hungry?
No, but you've done the work.
That means money.
In the example that we're using, yes, it doesn't have to necessarily mean money,
Sure.
but
I'm going to cut to the chase and go, that's entitlement. If everyone doesn't deserve it and just you, it's entitlement. It's not actually who you are. No one's entitled to shit. We have our birthright of spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical safety and respect. You're not entitled to shit. If everyone deserved it, that would be different. And everyone does. And look, what I'm getting at here is like the feeling of $1 million in your bank account, or 10 million, or 500,000. Let's settle for 50 grand at the moment. Settle for 10. Right?
mm-hmm.
Is that's the feeling I need to then create in my body. Everyone deserves to have that safe feeling in their body. Everyone deserves to have that relief and go, oh, I'm going to be okay. I'm safe. Then they make their decisions from there. Does that make sense? That entitlement comes from perfectionism. That entitlement comes from lack. That entitlement comes from fear, scarcity, and shame. And what you're saying is, I'd be so great with it, and look at the good I would do in the world. Are you doing that good right now? Are you out there serving other people?
Yeah.
Yeah? Every day?
Not every day. I try
Okay. How are you serving people?
by helping others. I mean, it's different in each situation. There's not one size fits all for that.
Okay. But then why don't those people deserve what you deserve?
They do.
But you just said they didn't.
I didn't say them. I said not everyone does.
Well, why doesn't everybody though? We're not separate. There is no separation between us and them. There is no us and them. There is only us. So if you deserve it, everyone deserves it. And I mean everyone. Yes, I'm talking about the worst of the worst. There is no separation. When there's separation outside of you, there is separation inside of you. You are at war with yourself. You can have the feeling you're looking for right now if you are willing to do the work to surrender. So for these purposes and what we're talking about, the definition of surrender is sur is beneath, right? And render is to change. Mm-hmm. Actually, can you check that sir is underneath? I'm pretty sure. But it's the purpose of this is the feeling to understand that we all have a piece of entitlement in us. I do too. But entitlement does not help anybody because of its fuel source. And so this is the shadow work of it all, right? And like we've talked about it here, you and I have talked about it, like I learned that I'm actually a petty person. So what did I do? Become her? Or did I get to know that petty part, listen to what she needed, and admit that I'm a petty person so that I didn't become her?
Yeah.
That's what shadow work is. She's not gone. She's just safe. And I'm aware of her.
How do you figure out the pettiness is that part?
By doing other shadow work. Like, she was so buried underneath that, like, 8 years into
just
this
came to
work,
you one
all of
day,
a sudden I was
essentially.
like, because I was like, wait a minute. The thoughts I was having, I was like, I don't have those thoughts. And I was like, shit, that's petty. Like, I'm actually experiencing feelings of pettiness. And so, like, this work is so wild because it's like, I did all this work so that I would be this, like, magnanimous and wonderfully zen human. Not so that I could experience feelings of pettiness, but that's what it does. It shows you the parts of you that are ugly, the parts that you're ashamed of. The petty part of me is not actually ugly. She's ugly when I keep her in the dark and she's all dank and, that's where all the monsters come from, right? And so you having entitlement, and you do, and so do I, and so does everybody out here. It's being willing to admit that. Yep, there's part of me that feels entitled to this. Okay, now how do I move? What do I need to do with that? Because I don't want to be entitled. I want to be in the energy of worth, right? Mm-hmm. And that I deserve to feel safe. And that if my desire is, I would like to make a certain amount of money, you can do that.
It's interesting. I don't like being called entitled.
I know you don't. Do I like being called entitled?
No.
No.
But it's interesting to
Why would I?
have that and feel that trigger.
Yeah. So what went off with the trigger?
Just like an anger.
Why are you angry?
Because I don't like that connotation of entitlement.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It just doesn't. It just feels so much more negative, even though I still agree with it.
Mm-hmm. That's the shadow. Can you stop being ashamed of it? And go, yep, there's do you disagree? Are there parts of you that are entitled?
Yeah.
That's the deepest work you can do. But people are out here like, I don't want to be that. But you are. There's a piece of you that is. Okay, get to know it. Understand it. And then explain like you would lovingly to a child. That's what you're saying, right? I want to do all this good in the world and explain why these things don't serve us. You won't do it for yourself, though. No, that's not there. I'm not that person. Petty me is a gift to me. Because I don't want to be petty. I don't want that to be my expression. What is she saying? What was she trying to tell me about the pettiness? She was trying to show me where I was using toxic positivity against myself.
So with the pettiness, I guess, where should I be looking?
Are you petty?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
What's he trying to tell you? Why is he petty? Do you respect petty people? You want to be petty?
No.
Okay, why don't you respect a petty person?
It's just like annoying.
Short-sighted.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of a dick.
Totally. But why?
I'm not sure.
So what's your petty side trying to tell you? That you didn't get what's yours?
Yeah.
That you're being disrespected?
Being screwed.
Yeah. So then what do you need to help your petty part of you understand? First of all, you need to hear it. All right. Yeah, you feel petty. Why? Ask him.
I've just been screwed.
Have you?
Yeah.
By whom?
Multiple people.
Okay, now what? What does the petty part of you want you to understand? Okay, you were screwed. Screwed over.
You're just pissed.
Okay, so have you let yourself be angry?
I feel like I have.
Okay, have you released the anger now that you have let yourself be angry?
I think this is where it's hard. I feel like I've tried.
You have tried.
And I've released parts of it. Like
You have.
But then randomly, guy will just get like pissed about things that like have been forever ago.
Great, what does that let you know?
I haven't released it all.
Right. But the perfectionism said you should have really, you did it one time.
Yeah.
There's layers to this. I know, right? And look, this is where you get to be frustrated and annoyed. It's annoying. And so you go, yes, I feel angry. I feel frustrated. Like, you got to be kidding me. I got to do this again. Throw the fit. Allow yourself to throw the fit. Move it through your body and then go, would I like to continue to meet this trigger?
Okay, question, because, you know, having done that for some of these different, you know, things and be like, okay, like, get to that point, like, I want to so bad have big, okay, you know, I've done it 10 times, whatever, how many times. I want to be done with it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, no. And then like pettiness of like, no, I don't want to release that. I still want it there.
Yeah.
But I don't want it.
What does it do for you though? To
Nothing.
hold on to it. Nope.
Well, I mean,
Everything-
obviously there's a reason I'm holding on to
Correct.
it.
So what is it? What happens if you let it go?
You forgive. I mean,
Ooh, and then they're not accountable for what they did.
Exactly.
So what is that?
Not justice.
Nope. It's martyr.
Yeah.
You're going to suffer for what you did to me. Who's suffering?
Just you, really.
Yeah. Yep.
It's never them.
You're moving through a really important stage where you're still in blame. And that's okay. It's just a part of it.
Blaming them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You screwed me over.
Yeah.
Did you have a part to play in it? Yeah, you
You
did.
always do.
Because you were also people pleasing.
Yeah.
They didn't know how you actually felt, did they?
Some did.
Some did. But like,
Yeah.
this is why people don't want to do this. It's complex. So, right. So you're in blame. You did this to me.
Yeah.
You're at this critical stage. It's part of your Phoenix moment that you're about to have. Okay? Where that blame will shift from this is what happened to me, not they did this to me. This is the empowerment piece. When you go back and you're like, I am no longer blaming you. It's simply what happened, and I'm reclaiming my power from that moment. I will no longer let that moment run the life that I am living now.
See, I think that's where like I've personally struggled lately. Would be the petty piece or the entitlement piece. You know, with what you just said, going back to like this would happen to me. Like I won't let this. Where it's like I want that so bad, but I get right to there, and like I'll even if I do say like all the right things,
Right.
there's still that piece of me. It's like fuck no.
Then that piece of you needs your full attention and love. You need to hear him all the way out. Why? Why don't you want us to do this? Because then they won't suffer. Don't they know what they did to us?
It's like I said, it's suffering, it's the forgetting. Like as soon as we let go, like we
You're
will
talking
forget.
about forgiveness.
Yeah.
Do you believe in forgiveness?
Honestly, I don't know anymore.
God, the honesty is incredible. Good job. This is where people make the biggest mistake. And when I say people, I am including myself in this.
I can't even forgive myself.
Thank you. Thank you for making my point. But people don't want to start where they are. When you can admit where you are like 85% of the way there. Now the last 15% is very hard. But this is one of the first times you've admitted it out loud, right?
Probably.
This is shame work. You're literally bringing it out from the dank darkness, this hideous piece of yourself, and going, that's me. Because now you're actually starting from where you actually are. Now you're going to get somewhere. But we didn't want to admit we were there in the first place because it's so shameful. We should have known better. And we want everyone to understand. And really, this is kind of where it comes from, that something happened to me. Like, I wouldn't be this fucked. I promise something has happened to me.
It's interesting. Like, I think I have an easier time admitting things that have happened to me, like from other people.
Well,
But when it comes to like admitting those pieces,
that you did to yourself.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Why would that be easier?
I think the other ones get you external validation.
Exactly. God. Oh, so good. This is where the empowerment is choosing that you will no longer be a victim to what was done to you. Whatever it is, that is the re-empowerment of it. I will no longer be a victim of the circumstances of things that were outside of my control. But you got to walk all the steps first. So it's like, whatever happened to you, you have to acknowledge that it happened and that it hurt. Right? And like, imagine my surprise when I was dealing with major wounds, big shit. And like, the layers under that were petty. I'm like, we have to deal with petty? I like died on my therapist's floor. You know what I mean? That actually should show me how much progress I've made, because where I was and my circumstances around my victimhood, that's why petty was so buried. I could be nothing but calm or funny. That's it. That was my survival. Petty lets me know that I am actually moving through these stages. Right? And like, that's my inner teen healing. Teens are petty as shit. I never really got to be a teen.
Yeah.
We don't get to skip steps. And so now all of a sudden I'm like, oh. It's admitting whatever you are the most ashamed of, whatever it is that you don't want anyone to know, that's what needs the most attention. That's why triggers are gifts. It couldn't trigger you if it weren't in you in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? The trigger is for you. I'm not saying that you allow any kind of abusive behavior. We'd never do that. But the trigger is to let you know where you need to put up a boundary. Once the boundary's up, immediately in. Ooh, what is that part of me? Why was I so triggered by that? Right?
Yeah.
So when I called you entitled, I watched your body like freak the fuck out. Was I trying to trigger you? No. Am I trying to offer you truth and mirroring that I think that's what I'm feeling in the moment? Yeah. I don't like to be mirrored back to you. It's not fun. It's important.
Yeah. Yeah, the entitlement one.
Ooh. And we had a core one. So when you're like, I don't know where to go, I don't know where this block is. Hi, we just found it.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Yes. But you're going to now go to that part of you, that Joe, and be like, all right, entitled Joe.
I gotta figure that one out.
What do you need? I'm here to listen to you. And look, I found parts of myself where I'm like, you stay a good 10 feet away from me. I like barely look at it. Great. Good. At least I'm like in the same room. Or maybe it's even the same house and I'm like, I know where you are and I don't want to look at you. But it's not like down in the dungeons. And then you're going to like slowly like, all right, I guess we can like meet in the living room maybe. You got to you can't go from loathing yourself to like immediately loving yourself. Okay, I guess we can like go to standing it, tolerating it, and then like, and then you want to get to the part where you're neutral about it. But don't get it twisted. Your attention is one of the purest forms of love. What do kids need?
What do kids need?
Yeah. Attention.
Attention.
Right?
Everyone needs attention.
Everyone needs attention.
That's probably why your dog's peeing on the floor.
Too soon. I know. But like, look, does that trigger me? For sure. What does it trigger in me?
You
So you can
know,
guess.
You know I'm probably on the right track.
100%. But what does it trigger in me though? That's the important part. That I'm not a good pet owner at best. And then it's like, you're responsible. You're not.
Yeah.
You're an adult. You can't take care of nice things. You can't even... It goes and it's like, oh yeah.
Spirals.
All right. There it is. And then I'm going to be honest. I don't want to spend time training my dog right now. It's very low on my priority list. And yet, it really makes a difference in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily make sense, right?
Yeah. This process is stupid.
Yep.
It's I think you have, I'm just thinking back at on all of this. You have an idea of the process, and like it's not going to be necessarily linear. You understand that it's going to be
You heard
like,
it and you're like, that's fine.
like
I can do
you
this.
understand that like everyone's like, oh, it's like a
Yeah.
maze. You go here and there, like, oh yeah,
Right.
cool. There's going to be
Twists and turns.
twists and turns. And you get in, and you're like, what the actual fuck is this?
Yep. And look,
The entitlement. Like all of a sudden, I just feel like I feel like I'm on the. What that felt like was like Chutes and Ladders. You know that lovely game.
I sure do.
And there's some shoots that are like, man, that's okay. That's a little setback.
Just a little.
Then you get so close to the end of it, and there's that one stupid ladder or shoot that sends you like down almost all the way back to the beginning, and it's right at the end.
I know.
That's how it felt. It felt like all of a sudden I was getting there, and all of a sudden I just took the very big express shoot way back.
But you're trying to win the game.
Trying to get to the next level.
Okay.
Because
But did it actually look? That is how you feel about it. The actual thing that happened though is you just got one step closer to beating this level.
yeah,
It feels like a setback when you were like, I don't know what it is. Now you know. How is that a setback?
yeah.
So yeah, look.
Kicker is now am I gonna make the conscious effort to go.
There you go. Now do you see
Do
why
it.
you feel like it puts you behind? And you're like,
This is where my perfection kicks in.
Uh-huh.
Fun fact.
See?
Not really a fun fact.
But
You already know this.
If you now know the pattern that you didn't know was there before,
But I expect that because I've now uncovered it. Expect is a strong word, but I'm gonna
No, you
use
do.
it. I expect that I should be now essentially through it.
yeah, how's that working for you? He just flipped me off for everybody not watching.
Yeah, it feels great.
No, but for real, how does that feel?
How does it feel that? Which piece of it?
Why'd you flip me off?
Because it's not working.
But you don't want to.
Admit it.
Why?
Because it's something I need to work on. It's something that it's not.
And what do entitled people feel like they shouldn't have to do?
Work?
There you go. Why are you afraid of work?
I'm not afraid of work. It's
Yes, you are. And to be, just for everyone listening, this man is not afraid of work. He's been doing deep work for a while. It's this particular piece of work.
I don't know. I guess I'm probably afraid of what I'm going to find.
Yep. What are you going to find?
That's a fantastic question. I'm not fully sure yet.
It's the unknown, though. You don't know.
Yeah.
So what is the unknown to the human brain?
Fear.
Death.
Death.
Unknown. We don't go there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I think it's almost like we talked about this thing a couple weeks ago, where the thought I had in my mind, where it's essentially like you're on a stage, you have the lights on you, and when the lights are on you, I mean, if anyone who's been on a stage with the lights on, they know that you can't see anything in the audience.
Yep.
But that's essentially the audience is essentially, for me, this piece of entitlement, where it's like, if I keep doing what I'm doing, essentially, I'm never gonna see anything.
There you go.
I need to turn the lights around.
And what have you wanted to see so badly?
The good in me.
Why are you so afraid of it?
I don't think it's gonna be what I'm expecting it to be.
Right, because we just found a piece and you did not like it at all.
Yeah.
In fact, you're playing it very cool because we're on camera and that's fair, you get to. But it hit deep.
Oh, I'm not hiding that it hit deep.
Right.
No, yeah.
I mean, you're handling it.
Yeah.
And because we've had several sessions, I know how you would handle it otherwise, and that's okay. I'm just saying that that's absolutely okay.
How would I have handled it?
You get real quiet.
Yeah.
There are more tears. That's okay.
I just wanted to argue with you.
Am I wrong?
No, I'm saying like when that piece hit, I just wanted
Yes.
to argue it.
There you go. Right? But like, This is it. This is actually what you're asking for. You're trying to find these last
Yeah.
pieces so that you can actually change games. And yet you're mad about it. You're like, I want the answers, but not that one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No, it's infuriating. Same. Don't think I like the parts of myself that I find. I don't. That's the whole point. That's why they were hidden.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you. This is just focused on you because
Yeah.
that's how this is set up.
Yeah, this yeah.
But I, you know this already though. You know I'm in the shit, in my own. Meeting the parts of myself that I thought weren't there, it's pretty devastating actually. For someone that talks about having an open heart all the time, finding out that mine was pretty much closed, that was devastating. That was Monday, okay? I want to be honest with myself and with others of where I am. Because I can work with the truth. But when I'm not working with the truth, it's like running in circles and be like, why does this keep coming around? Oh my God. And then when I find it's like, no, damn it, I thought it was going to be because of external circumstances, not me. It's always me.
Yeah.
And people can argue that. I can argue that. My circumstances, I'm a woman, I'm brown, I'm this, I'm that. That's victim. I am no longer going to let myself do that. Yes,
Yeah.
those are things that happened to me. They were very real. And now I know. And I've met those pieces. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take radical accountability and responsibility for my life. I'm a petty person. My heart's closed. I'm also entitled. Okay. What do those 3 parts of me need to feel safe? How can I give them the light of my consciousness, which is to say, to love them, hear them. Okay, so like jealousy. I'm also jealous, right? Because like I want what other people have.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring jealousy in, jealousy is such an important piece to your desire. It's like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
But I'm mad about it because you have it and I don't.
Yeah.
It's letting me know what's for me. So when I actually harmonize her and bring her out, it's like, thank you for letting me know. And then she's like, oh, I don't have to be such a bitch anymore. You're now going to take steps to get it.
Yeah.
And yet we're out here fighting it like we just can't be this when
Yeah.
we are this.
God.
Mm-hmm. So look, you said this process is stupid. It's such an important part of this process to give yourself the space to go, this is so stupid. And then the worst part is when you're like, oh, this is really good though. I see why it's this way.
I think it's why it's so stupid for me is I know it's the way and I know it's like what's needed and it's stupid that it is.
So let yourself feel it. Because the entitled part of you is also like, yeah, it's stupid. Let's not do it. You don't have to do any of this.
Yeah, it comes back to what I said Monday. I'm too stubborn to not do that.
You don't have to be. You're telling yourself, you now have the story, Joe is stubborn, so I will. Do you want to be stubborn? Do you want to keep doing this?
No. Stubborn in the sense that I'm going to do it.
Okay, great. But why? It's not because you're a stubborn person. We use those things and we're covering up something else. It's actually because you want it.
Yeah.
But you're so afraid to get it. It's like, well, I'm stubborn. I had to do this.
I'm afraid to admit it, that I actually want it.
Why? Why would you be afraid to admit that? It's such an important thing to admit, by the way.
I think there's probably like a piece of it that comes back, and I'm kind of thinking of the stubborn aspect of it more, where it's like making Amanda helped me reframe how I say this, but it's like I don't usually like to make things easy on myself.
Yeah, why? You want things to be easy, though.
I know, that's where it's ironic. I would love for things to be easy, but I don't ever let myself let them be
No,
easy.
you sure don't. Me neither. Go on.
And I think there's like a piece of me where it will feel like I earned it more. Or I think it's just like...
So you can be what? Smug about it? I did more work.
Not smug, but it's like... It's almost, I think, like I said, because a lot of those things younger, being told I couldn't and all this, it's like almost like it proves more. If it wasn't easy, it's like if you look at someone that like, if you look at someone who runs a race, you see the people who run it really quick because they're like really good at it, and you're like, yes, that's still impressive. You're not taking that away. Then you see the person who like maybe did better than they were supposed to, and you're like, you weren't supposed. Like, wow, like that's impressive.
You're trying to have a comeback story?
Comeback story, or it's like more impressive.
Why is it more impressive? That person that's winning the race, it used to be that person that had the comeback.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
You want people to be in awe of you.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Yeah.
How did that feel? That's true.
Didn't really necessarily hit any different. It was just more like, yeah.
Why do you want people to be in awe of you? What have you done that's so awe-inspiring?
That's a good question. It feels like I want people to be in awe because, like I said, it almost goes back to more like the beginning of things where it's like just all the things I went through and, people not expecting it.
But when you actually integrate those pieces, you're not going to be that same person. And so you're actually continuing a loop that wasn't meant to continue. You did go through things. You did overcome them. Now it's time to move on. It's not who you are. I also overcame things. It's not who I am. I don't want it to be. I want to progress. Yes, it's a part of my story. I'm not ashamed of any of it anymore. But that is not who I am. My lived experiences are my lived experiences. They don't define who I am. And I don't, in fact, like even this podcast, when I go back and like tell stories, I realize I don't want to say it. I don't even want to tell my backstory anymore. Not because I'm ashamed of it. It's because it's like, no, that's in a boat. And people will be like, oh my God, you've been through that? And it kind of re-triggers that like awe that felt good at the time because I didn't know I was doing something great. Right?
Yeah.
And now that I've done it, it's like, great. I want to graduate from that and continue to do better, to continue to progress on top of the things I built. Not have people impressed with me because I came out of whatever I came out of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you're just, this is another part of your phoenix. Okay? You have been through things. Who's been telling you you've been through things? Me. It's me. And you've been like, no, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, no, this is really bad. Right? You need to be, you have not been in awe of yourself about those things. How do you expect people to keep doing it? And like, look, let's take the child star example. How cute is it when they become adults and they're like, I was that kid on Full House. Look at me, I'm so awesome.
Yeah.
What if the Olsen twins had continued to say how rude well into their adulthood? We'd be like, oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's what you're
doing.
doing.
They never grew up.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Never looked at it that
That's what
way.
everybody is doing. But you won't give it to yourself. In some of your sessions over the last 6 months, I have literally said the words, I am in awe of you right now. You couldn't even receive it.
I know that.
Then why do you want people to be in awe of you?
Keep thinking maybe it'll hit one day.
When will it hit?
When I actually do it myself.
And then what will happen is you will have a full Phoenix moment and you won't have to keep going back there. How did you find out my backstory? Did I tell you it?
I think so. No?
No, I didn't. Who told you my backstory? My mom did.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, wait, what?
Yeah, your mom did.
And I didn't not tell you because I'm ashamed. I did not tell you because it's not informing my life anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, right.
Yeah.
You're ready to grow up. This is the inner child work. That inner child gets to go in and be safe so that you get to continue to progress and grow. And it's not grow up like, ugh, grow up. It's like, you actually really want this.
Yeah.
To become a full embodied adult, sovereign, that means you have to take full responsibility for everything.
Yeah.
And you don't want to yet.
It's scary.
It's the worst. You have to buy your own toilet paper. I hate it.
No.
And right there, me saying I hate it, I'm like, oh, there it is. I need to go in a little bit. I need to go in and go, I actually can't hate anything. I'm hating the feeling it brings up in me. The entitlement. Like, why do I have to buy my own toilet paper? It's my teen. All right, let's go in and talk to her. It's entitlement. Instead of, and this is where gratitude comes in. It comes in, I believe it comes in closer to last than anything. You got to work through how you actually feel. And then it's like, you know what? I have never been without toilet paper, and I provide that now. I provide everything in this house. Why am I not proud of that? Because it's not enough. Because I'm not enough. See? So that lets me know what? My not enough food needs attention. And it's not even in this like show stopping, I've got to get a new coach and do all these workshops. I just literally need to spend time with her.
Entitlement's a lot bigger than I thought.
Oh yeah, it's big.
But
I want you to understand something. It's really important. Your work on Monday broke you through this today. You want this. It's uncomfortable, it's ugly, it's disappointing, it's all those things. It's the peace you needed. You should be in awe of it, actually. But you can't yet. Because you're like, ugh. There's disgust. Okay. But now it's up for review. It's up to be healed and loved.
yeah.
And it will stop running that program that you didn't even know it was running. Well,
That was not how I expected this to go.
I didn't either.
Welcome to my life.
Well, it's kind of funny that it says curveball.
That was one of the topics. That or going nowhere fast and finding peace in the slow lane, which we kind of...
I was like, actually,
did
I feel like
both.
we kind of covered it.
Yeah.
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 It was just in a session that you get to decide
Yeah.
if you want to put public or not.
Well, it will be. And it's funny because I know one of my sisters actually listens to it. Funny enough, because she texted me about the last one, asking information. I'm like, there's a reason I said I legally can't talk about it. I can't. And so, yeah, it's interesting because I think there's even a little bit of, fear, judgment. That I'm like, oh.
For sure.
Yeah.
Why would there not be? It's meeting all of them and what? Sitting with them. All right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yep. And then learning how to function through. This is where people get stuck in the healing loop. And they're like, this is what happened to me. I just need to keep talking about it. It's like, you got to talk about it. Then you got to do the thing. And then you got to move through it.
Yeah.
The moving through it's the worst because you're toddling and falling over and it's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look stupid. We all look
We
stupid.
all look stupid.
But actually, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah.
Do you look stupid to me?
No.
Do I look stupid to me? Yeah. What does that mean I need to do?
Go set some things.
Yeah. You love to like throw that. You're like, oh, well, we might need to look at that. I'm like, I know.
It's nice to not be the one always.
I don't know how else to tell you. Like, I'm so in the shit with you.
Yeah.
You're just not mine. So you're like, kind of, you think I'm like joking on something. Like, yeah, but it's not hard for you. You've been doing this or whatever story runs in your mind.
Nah, I at least know it's hard for you too.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
I don't want to be petty. I don't want to be hateful. Who does?
Yeah.
But I am. So, back to the drawing board. I have to go get Mara.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.